boys and girls. I hope you've had a great day so far. I know you're all wondering, why is Jules' mom on the screen today? Why is she wearing blue and gold? It's kind of an odd color combination. Well, the answer to that is I wanted to talk to you today about World Down Syndrome Awareness Day. World Down Syndrome Awareness Day happens on March 21st every single year. It is a day to increase awareness about what it is like to have Down syndrome. Some people wear mismatched socks to represent the mismatched strands of DNA, and some people wear the colors chosen to represent Down syndrome, which is this blue and gold combination. Again, you're probably wondering, why is this one day devoted to celebrating people with Down syndrome? Well, don't worry, I'll explain that all in a few minutes, but first I wanted to talk to you about chromosomes. And before I talk to you about chromosomes, I want to make sure that everyone understands that the reason why we're talking about Down syndrome and why it's so personal to our family is that because, as many of you know, Jules has Down syndrome. And if you didn't know, well then listen up, because we're going to be talking about what Down syndrome actually is, okay? But first, to go back to those chromosomes. So I believe your classroom teacher has already read to you a book called What's Inside You is Inside Me Too. And in that book, it talked about how every single human being is born with 46 chromosomes. 23 of them are from the mom and 23 are from the dad. And we sometimes call these DNA strands. Now, if this seems complicated, don't worry, because you will get a bunch of science lessons in the 8th grade about genes and what can happen to your particular genes that are our DNA strands. So back to those chromosomes. So now that these chromosomes, we have them, and every single person has those 46 chromosomes, and it helps to determine eye color, hair, height, which hand you write with, and even your ability to play sports, dance, sing, draw. But what happens when there is a change to one of those chromosomes? What happens when there's an extra chromosome in your body? Well, for my son Jules, he has an extra chromosome, number 21. Therefore, he has 3 of the 21st chromosomes. And this one additional chromosome is called Down syndrome, but it also is what makes Jules, well, Jules. And we love him for all of his uniqueness. Now for this serious stuff about Down syndrome. This one extra chromosome can also often cause difficulties in the body of a person with Down syndrome. Many babies with Down syndrome need surgery on their heart, and many others need additional surgeries to their body. Jules is only 10, and he's already had over 5 surgical procedures. So let me ask you this. How many of you have ever had even one surgery? Now imagine having to undergo many surgeries before you even got to high school. Scary, huh? But the one thing that we can definitely say about people with Down syndrome is that they are very strong. This means that they can persevere even when things are very scary and even when things are very difficult for them. So take, for instance, growing up. Many people with Down syndrome struggle to learn how to eat, to walk, to talk, maybe even to read and to write and do math. But as I already said, people with Down syndrome know how to persevere. And because of that perseverance, they do learn how to walk. They do learn how to talk. They do learn how to read and to write and to do math. The difference is that they might not do those things at the same age as you have learned how to do those things. And that is what you notice though, right? No judgment, because we all notice differences. And that's kind of what we're here to talk about today. So for those of you in Jules' class, you probably notice that Jules' eyes are slightly different shaped than your eyes. You notice that Jules doesn't write as well as you do, or that he doesn't talk as clearly as you do at your age. But what I'm going to remind you to think about as we celebrate World Down Syndrome Awareness Day is that Jules and all the people with Down syndrome can and will learn to do all the things that you do already, or the things that you have already not yet learned yourselves. So they just need a little bit more time. That darn pesky extra chromosome has set up a few roadblocks, but people with Down syndrome do overcome these roadblocks. Yes, and I have pages of script. All right, I now want to talk to you about bullying. This is a little on the serious side, because if you're comfortable now, I want you to please close your eyes for a moment. And let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt that you were being bullied? Have you ever felt that there was something different about you and that was why you were bullied? Now, if you're ready, open your eyes again. People with Down syndrome are 75% more likely to be bullied than a person without Down syndrome. Do you know what that means? If you have ever felt bullied one single time in your life, then a person with Down syndrome has felt that way 75 times. And you're only 9 and 10-year-olds. Think about how high that number would feel by the time you got to middle school or high school. So that's the perspective for families and for children with Down syndrome, is that they often are bullied. So this is why I'm really on the screen today, to educate you about what it means to have Down syndrome, but also to talk to you about what you can do now that you know that information and about how it is to live as a person with Down syndrome. The one thing I'm going to ask you to do is to really show patience, not just for Jules, but for any single human being that you begin to feel frustrated with. Just show patience. You do know that you never know what a person's struggles are on that given day. If you did, you might realize that the person is truly doing the very best that they can at that given moment. So remember, show patience. The second thing is to show kindness. Now, I know showing kindness is usually pretty easy when the kids around you are in good moods or going with the flow, but I'm asking you to show kindness to the person who is struggling, the person who is upset and yelling out, the child who might be acting in a way that looks scary or aggressive, or the fellow student who cannot answer the questions the same way that you can answer them in your classrooms. We are all very different human beings, but yet we are all so much alike. Remember, 46 chromosomes alike. So as a teacher and as a mom, I ask that the next time someone frustrates you, or the next time you notice someone does something not as well as you do, or you notice that someone is struggling to walk or talk or read or write, I ask that you treat them with kindness and that you show patience as they learn to grow into the truly wonderful human beings that we all will get to grow into, right? So, looping back down to Down Syndrome Awareness Day, March 21st recognizes people who have 3, which is the 3rd month of the year, of the 21st chromosomes, which is the 21st day of the month. It's kind of cool, huh? So please take a moment to reflect on the positive things about knowing someone with Down syndrome, because I can think of a really long list for just my son. So I want you all to have a great day, but really thank you for listening, for really listening. I know you're still young, but I wanted to talk to you like the adults that you will grow up to be. By knowing that we notice differences, by knowing we all make judgments, then it can all allow us to know that we all can do better in life. We can be the person who shows kindness. We can be the person who shows patience and friendship, rather than becoming the person who allows their hearts to be led by feelings of feeling superiority or having cruelty in our heart. Because really, no one wants to feel like they were bullied. So please don't bully others, okay? All right, so happy World Down Syndrome Day. Enjoy your day. And if you ever have any questions, talk to your teacher, talk to me, and please always extend friendship. All right, have a good day, boys and girls. Bye.